Hey there, we are live from Midtown Comics Grand Central. Happy New Comic Book Day. Happy Wednesday to you all. I'm Henry, and we are here in Midtown Comics to go through the wall, talk about some of the great new releases that are hitting shelves this week. So we're going to walk down the wall, talk about it all. Let's have some fun and read some cool books. So starting us off, we've got X-Men Gold, issue number 11. Now, the X-Men Gold book by Mark Guggenheim has been really fun and really cool from the beginning. Got a cool classic X-Men vibe. You'll see that Venomized Omega Red cover there. And currently, the team is facing off against Omega Red, which makes me super happy because I'm an old school 90s X-Men fan. And Omega Red is one of my favorite 90s X-Men villains. So really cool to see him at the forefront of the X-Men books once again. Now, of course, we had the Venomized cover of Omega Red, and that's because this week is the beginning of Venom Verse. So we've got the main Venom Verse book, and over here we've got the Venom Verse War Stories. Now, this book features a number of side stories that are building off of these Venomized heroes that we have seen. If you read the Edge of Venom Verse miniseries, there was a prelude to this book. You're already familiar with a bunch of these great characters, and I would call them great heroes, but they're not all exactly as noble as you would like. Some cool art there just on the letter page that actually shows you these characters. Really cool concept with this Venomverse. And as we carry over, we've got the main Venomverse book here. Bunch of different covers. I'm actually really partial to the main cover right here. Some great stuff by Nick Bradshaw. Cullen Bunn and Ivan Coella have a really cool story here unfolding in Venomverse where we get to see a bunch of the Venomized heroes of the Marvel Universe coming to life. And it's really great. It's really crazy. And if you're a big Venom fan, this is the coolest thing possible because it's all of the Venom characters all spawning a brand new story. Some really cool stuff here. Now, as we continue down, we've got the brand new issue of Rogue One, a Star Wars story. This is, in fact, the final issue of the movie adaptation. It does expand on the lore of the movie. So if you're a fan, you got to check it out. Some really great stuff there. And then right over here, we've got Spider-Man issue number 20 from Brian Michael Bendis. The newest issue of the Miles Morales saga continues. Really cool stuff there. If you haven't been reading Ultimate Spider-Man and all this great stuff, you are missing out because that is a really cool character. And also, check out that super cool Venomized Black Cat cover. That's actually kind of terrifying. That really freaks me out. So we're going to take a look up top instead, and we're going to check out some of the cool collections that are coming out this week. First off, got to give a shout out to Ed Brubaker, who's got a lot of love being reprinted here. We've got the Incognito hardcover being collected once more, as well as Criminal. Now, all these books are the collaborations of Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips, and Ed Brubaker is probably my favorite writer in all of comics, and it's because of books like this. He's really amazing. Of course, the iconic cover to Criminal. Really great stuff there. Really, really good book. I cannot recommend it enough. They're great hardcovers, and they contain so many cool stories, and they're all episodic, so you can actually jump in with it easily. Then, as we continue down, another deluxe hardcover that you know I had to get. We've got the second hardcover collection of Wicked and Divine, Year 2. Really great book from Kieran Gillen and Jamie McKelvey. Now, this contains a bunch of the side stories that were filling in the devastating effects of the end of the first year of Wicked and Divine. Everything gets explored, and the book gets absolutely crazy, and I can't even tell you what happens because if you're reading the book, you don't want it spoiled for you because you're super invested like me. Super good book. Check it out. Now, we also have the Throwaways trade paperback, the second collection of the Hit Image series. Some really cool stuff. And then right here, we've got Iron Fist Volume 1, the new Ed Brisson series. Some really great stuff. Really cool series. If you're a big fan of Iron Fist, if you like the Netflix series, if you like Defenders, if you like just cool kung fu action, you got to check out the book. It's really great, and Ed Brisson is doing a great throwback storyline that's really cool. And Sabretooth is going to be fighting him soon, so that's awesome. You got to read the build-up to Sabretooth. Now, we also have the Man-Thing miniseries. Now, this is from R.L. Stine. That's right. The Goosebumps creator decided that if there was any character in comics he had to get his hands on, it was, of course, Man-Thing. Those who know fear shall know the Man-Thing. Really great stuff. Really cool. He's such a cool character. They burn at his touch. He's great. He hunts down evil. He's wonderful. He's super cool, and he's perfect for R.L. Stine. Now we've got the second hardcover collection of Amazing Spider-Man Worldwide from Dan Slott. Some really great stuff. Giuseppe Camicoli is doing some of the best artwork of his entire career on this book as Spider-Man travels around the world gallivanting and being a philanthropist. Really cool stuff. But, of course, one of the coolest things we've got going this week is the second hardcover collection of the Marvel hip-hop covers. The hip-hop covers took the world by storm, and now you can have it in a cool coffee table book for your dwelling. Some really cool stuff here. You'll see some iconic hip-hop album covers, of course, redone in the Marvel style. Some really great stuff. And I know if you're like me, you already own a bunch of these, but then you can have it in one book. You can have that book on your table instead of having to put 50 comics on the table. Makes more sense. Super great stuff. Then we also have the paperback collection of the recent Darth Maul miniseries. This is really great from Cullen Bunn and Luke Ross, exploring the early days of possibly the coolest Sith. That's right, even cooler than Darth Vader. Then, I guess he must have heard me talking smack, because Darth Vader is here with a deluxe hardcover collection of the entire series. The entire Darth Vader series in one book. Now, this includes everything. It even includes the Vader Down crossover with Star Wars. So if you want to read the critically acclaimed Darth Vader run by Kieran Gillen, you got to check out this hardcover that has the entire series in one place. Kieran Gillen did such a great job with Darth Vader that he's going to be the new writer on the main Star Wars book. And there's going to be Star Wars fever taking over the whole world pretty soon, so you got to check it out. But maybe you're more of an old school fan, maybe you like the classics, well then you're going to want the Marvel UK collection of Star Wars. These are the classic Marvel comics that were produced in the 70s and 80s from Star Wars, and back in the day they actually used to have different editions for some of their European releases, which is really cool, and they don't really do it that often anymore, but you can check out the books and enjoy. Back to the new releases for this week, we've got Spider-Man Deadpool number 21. Now, this is fun. This is Murder World and Madripoor, two of the coolest concepts of the Marvel Universe, two of the most exotic locales. And seeing Spider-Man and Deadpool thrust into them, you know it's going to be dangerous. You know it's going to be crazy. You know you got to check it out. Then we also have a variant cover to Secret Empire number 10. Of course, I still don't want to talk about it. I still don't want to tell you everything about Secret Empire, but Secret Empire 10 was absolutely crazy, and it led into Generations. So that's what the Vanishing Point variant cover here is all about. Check out the book. It's awesome. Really cool. And God, Nick Spencer got some great love for it last week. Really cool. Then we've got Royals number 7 from Al Ewing. If you have been a fan of the Inhumans, and maybe you checked out the Inhumans IMAX release last week and you want to read the book to see where to go next, Royals is the place to go. It is awesome. It is cool. It's got the entire Inhuman royal family in one place, and Maximus the Mad is taking on the entire royal family. Maximus is a real handful. He's a real pain, but you got to love the guy. Now we have the Punisher Back to the War collection. Really cool stuff. Some classic Punisher stories collected here, including his earliest adventures. Now, these actually do include his early appearances in Amazing Spider-Man and a lot of the side books from Jerry Conway. So you've got the original stuff. I mean, right there. You see it? You see that? That's the original appearance of the Punisher. His first appearance when he got hired by the Jackal. Really fun story, actually. I really like that one. Then if you want maybe something a little grittier, you want something a little darker, you want something gloomy, you want the Garth Ennis and Steve Dillon Marvel Knights Punisher series. This is often held as the best series that the Punisher has ever had, and it is in one hardcover, one slick hardcover. Really cool stuff. And it is literally, most people will tell you that this is the best Punisher series of all time. So having a nice hardcover only makes sense. Now, as we continue down, we've got the Marvel Masterworks Luke Cage Power Man Volume 2, the original Hero for Hire. Some really cool stories here. I am a huge Luke Cage fan, and I love these old stories. And the only way you can get them is in the Marvel Masterworks hardcovers. Now, these are actually the original adventures of Power Man. Some really great stuff there, and honestly, it's so fun. It's so crazy. It's over the top. It's everything you could want from a Luke Cage comic. It's great. Buy it. Read it. I love him. I love him so much. He's perfect. Now, one of the coolest releases we have this week, and something that I was super excited for. You saw my shirt. I am a big Star Wars fan, and I love Captain Phasma. I am so excited that she has her own book this week. Journey to Star Wars, The Last Jedi, Captain Phasma from Kelly Thompson and Marco Cicchetto. Some really cool stuff here. If you were a fan of the character in The Force Awakens, but maybe you wanted more, maybe you needed more Phasma, maybe you didn't see enough, this is dealing with the immediate aftermath of The Force Awakens, and you get to see her. I'm actually going to flip it open and take a look at some of this art here because it's really great. Now, with The Force Awakens, of course, Captain Phasma immediately made a great presence, and Gwendolyn Christie really did a great job. And here you'll get to see her in action. You get to see her, how she escapes everything blowing up around her on Starkiller Base. Some really great stuff, and we get to see it through her captain's log. It's actually really cool, really fun, and this is a great spread. The action is nonstop in this book, and it will get your blood pumping. Really great book and really great character, and I'm so happy to be getting more Phasma because I need more of her. She's cool. Now, as we continue down, we've got another really cool, strong female character. We've got Jessica Jones. This week has all the Defenders, I swear. It's great, and Jessica Jones is super cool, from Brian Michael Bendis and Michael Gaydos. Really great book. They've been on it since the beginning, always handling the adventures of Jessica Jones with care. Really great stuff, and I love that Mac cover. And, of course, this cover is great, too, because we get to see her being a private eye. Some really great stuff. Jessica Jones, probably my favorite of the Netflix shows, and a really great book. Now, as we continue down, we've got the brand new issue of Iron Fist, and who's that beside him? That is Shang-Chi, the master of Kung Fu himself. We get to see Iron Fist. We get to see Shang-Chi. Some really great stuff, really cool, and it's all the Kung Fu fighting you could possibly want. Really great characters, really cool story. Why aren't you already reading this book? Oh, wait, you are, because you're good. You're good, so you're reading it, right? Good. Now, as we continue down, we, of course, have the Inhumans, Once and Future Kings. It is a miniseries that is exploring the early days of the Inhumans by Christopher Priest and Phil Noto. Some great stuff here. Just take a quick flip, show off some of that really cool art by Phil Noto. I'm a big sucker for Phil Noto. I loved his Black Widow book a couple years ago, and seeing him on interiors is always great because he brings a really contemporary take that is also entirely classic. Really great stuff there. Now we're going to bump it up and take a look at some really cool collections that have hit stands. We've got, right off the bat, some Zombie Tramp, Pathfinder Worldscape, more Pathfinder books. We've got White Sand, that super awesome series from Dynamite. Some really cool stuff. The Retreat. And then from Garth Ennis, we've got Red Team, Double Tap, Center Mass. A really cool book, the second volume of the series. It's been doing a great job over for the folks at Dynamite. Really cool series. Then we've got the art from the Witcher card game. If you're a fan of the Witcher video game series, which I know there are a ton of fans, and it's a cool series, check out the art from the card game because The Witcher has some really cool designs. As we continue down, we've got Maggie the Mechanic, a spinoff of Love and Rockets. We've got Johnny Appleseed, some good old American folklore. Mouse Guard alphabet book, some cute stuff from David Peterson. We've got Dark Souls, Artist Edition, very cool. And we also have the latest collection of the Kong series from Boom. Some great stuff there. We've got Doctor Who. Of course, over the weekend was Doctor Who Day for all the Doctor Who fans out there. Then we have some really cool, ooh, this one is gross, Berlin and New York. Some cool stuff. We've got the Southern Nightgown series, Deja Thoris from Warlord of Mars, Star Trek coloring book. Goodness, we've got Dollface, and, woo! I don't even know what this is, but this looks gnarly, and that looks cool. Some really cool stuff. Now we're going to crack back down. We've got the brand new issue of Iceman. Really cool stuff. Really great series. Sin and Grace is doing a great job examining one of the longest-lasting X-Men of all time. Really cool stuff. But I would be a fool if I did not mention that the Planet Hulk collection is back in print. This thing has been out of print for like a decade, I swear. Super cool storyline. And of course, it's back in print. Why? Because Hulk is going back into space for Return of Planet Hulk soon. But also, Thor Ragnarok is coming out soon. And of course, it is doing a modern take on the Planet Hulk storyline, adding Thor into the mix. Some really great stuff here. If you have not read it, you are missing out. That book is awesome, and I don't even want to tell you all the characters that pop up in it, but I will tell you it is well worth reading. And it started Greg Pak's long history with the character. Some great stuff there. Now, from Marvel, we have Kelly Thompson's 10th issue of the Hawkeye series. If you've been reading Hawkeye like me, you've been having a lot of fun. Kate Bishop is a really cool character. And of course, the closest thing to an arch foe she has is definitely Madame Mask, who has been plaguing her back since Matt Fraction's Hawkeye run years ago. Some really cool stuff here, and great to see Madame Mask brought into the modern age. I always like her because she's got a cool, she's like, you know, the female version of Doctor Doom. She's great, she's cool, she's evil. How can you not love her? And she used to, you know, fool around with Tony. That's kind of funny. Now, the man in the Iron Mask himself, Tony Stark, is right here. We've got the Generations Iron Man one-shot. This is really cool. Some really great stuff. We have a great series from Brian Michael Bendis and Marco Rudy. Now, if you've never seen Marco Rudy's art, if you didn't read the Winter Soldier series, you're missing out because his art is out of this world. Now, what makes this book really special is that a lot of these Generation books have been having the modern-day characters meet with their original counterparts. So it would be Riri meeting up with Tony, right? Makes sense. But this one's got a twist, and I don't want to tell you the twist. But things with Tony might not be necessarily the normal status quo, and I'll leave it at that, and you should check it out because it's awesome. Now, as we continue down, we've got Generation X #6. Really cool book from Christina Strain. Really fun, really cool. And Generation X is a classic 90s team, and it's great to see that Marvel is spending time with the X-Men kids again because they are my favorite part of the X-Men world. I like the kids. They're all malleable and stuff. We got Quentin Quire right on the front, and you know that he's always going to be a problem. And that's cute. That's a little subtle X there. I like that. Good cover by Terry Dodson. Now, as we continue down, we've got the brand new issue of Darth Vader by Charles Soule and Giuseppe Camicoli. Some really cool stuff here, examining Darth Vader, Lord of the Sith, in the aftermath of Revenge of the Sith. Some cool stuff, really great, and it brings the first arc to a close. Now, of course, we've got this really cool Venomized cover for Daredevil #26. Once again, Charles Soule up to bat. Great book with Ron Garney. Ron Garney has been doing a really good job on the book, really showing off some cool, unique art styles that have differentiated this book from his previous work, really bringing in his A-game. Great book, really cool. And, I mean, you saw a number of these Defenders are popping up in the books, and it's because they're great characters. They're really cool. And, of course, Daredevil, front and center. Got to check out the book. Moving down, we've got the brand new issue of Champions, and I love that Venomized Ultron cover for Champions. Really cool stuff here. Of course, Humberto Ramos and Mark Waid have been having a lot of fun with the Champions book. They were kind of split up a little bit during Secret Empire, but now we can see things are back to status quo. They're dressed up in ridiculous costumes. They're having fun. It's great. They're cool. It is one of the more fun books that Marvel is putting out right now, and it still has that hard, real-world edge. You got to check out Champions. I highly recommend it. I really, really enjoy that series. Now, finishing off Marvel, we've got a few great books here. We've got Black Bolt #5 from Saladin Ahmed. Really great book. Christian Ward doing some weird, trippy art, man. Super great stuff. Really cool series. Black Bolt is awesome. And if you're a fan of the Inhumans, check out Black Bolt. It makes sense. It's great. Now we've got Astonishing X-Men #3, the Venomized cover, and Ed McGuinness on art for the 3rd issue, playing round robin, jumping artists issue to issue. Some really cool stuff here, but it's Ed McGuinness on X-Men for the first time in years. I haven't seen Ed McGuinness on X-Men since Amazing X-Men a few years ago with Jason Aaron. Really cool stuff, really great, and Ed McGuinness's art is amazing. He's Ed McGuinness. You know he's amazing. check out the book. It's great. Charles Soule is really doing a great job. I keep saying his name. Maybe he keeps making good comics. Maybe there's something to it. Just maybe, you know. Now we've got all new Guardians of the Galaxy, issue number 9. We've got, now this one's cool. This is Mike Del Mundo, Ego, the living planet venomized. That is terrifying. And also, look at the mustache. That's funny. That's cute. I like that. And we've got the regular issue. We've got Derry Guggen writing it. We've got some really cool stuff going on with the Guardians. They've been having a great old time, really putting out some cool stuff. And Mike Hawthorne jumps in for the art on this issue. Mike Hawthorne's great talent, great art, great stuff, great series. I can keep saying great over and over, and it will always apply. Now, we move over, and Valiant has the brand new issue of Harbinger Renegades. The team has been having a rough time lately, and that is putting it lightly. You got to check out the series to see what's going on. Cool variant cover here that I'm quite fond of. Show off another one right there. Some great stuff. The Harbinger series has been really cool since the beginning, and it's one of the most important books in the Valiant lineup. Check out this series because it's great. That's the only reason you need. Read good books, you know? Now we've got the brand new issue of Wicked and the Divine. Of course, you know that I was very excited. The book is really cool, really crazy, and some great stuff here. I'm trying to flip through and see if we've got the variant cover, which we do. Boom, Sophie Campbell variant cover. Some great stuff. If you're not reading Wicked and the Divine, you're missing out. You should be reading it. It's great. Of course, though, one of the big books that is coming out this week is Walking Dead, number 171. We've got the new character of the Princess popping up. Cool little variant cover here. The Walking Dead series is devastating. It makes you just an emotional shell of a person. It rips out your feelings. It rips you apart as if you were, you know, a victim of the zombies. It's really great, really cool. I don't need to sell you on Walking Dead. You're already sold on Walking Dead. Read Walking Dead. It's great. Now we've got the brand new issue of 7 to Eternity, a really cool book from Rick Remender and Jerome Opeña. Show off a couple different covers here. Love that cover. Tradmore. Love Tradmore covers. Really cool series, really great. If you want some high-concept sci-fi, check out 7 to Eternity. It's a lot of fun. Now, if you want some magic in your life, though, Scales and Scoundrels is the place to go. We got Sebastian Gerner, who, of course, wowed audiences with Shirtless Bear Fighter, which was so much fun, doing a brand new book with a lot of mysticism, a lot of magic, and we got dragons with glorious hair. That looks like a L'Oreal commercial. That's pretty awesome. I'm excited. You should be excited. Be excited with me. Come on, it's fun to be excited. Then we also have the brand new issue of Rocket Girl. Hey, 2 issues of Rocket Girl in 2 months. Back on schedule, doing some great stuff. Amy Reeder and Brandon Montclair are really putting in a good book, and I really love this cover, and I actually really like the coloring on this. Got a cool metal wash on that. Makes it look awesome. Really great book. Rocket Girl, teenage cop traveling through time. Read it. It's awesome. Then we have the brand new issue of Outcast from Robert Kirkman and Paul Ezeketa. Really cool book if you're a fan of the Showtime series. And then over here we have the return of Motor Crush, issue number 6 from Brendan Fletcher, Cameron Stewart, and Babs Tarr. Now this issue features art from Cameron Stewart himself. A couple different covers here. We've got Chris Anka, we've got Kevin Wada, we've got Babs Tarr, we've got Cameron Stewart. 4 crazy covers. I'm the crazy person because I went in on all 4 of them because this book is awesome and I love it and you should love it and it's great. And this is a cool flashback that focuses on Domino Swift's father, who we've learned a lot about in passing, and now we get to learn it firsthand. But of course, I would be a fool if I did not talk about and hype up Kingsman: The Red Diamond, the brand new sequel series to the original Kingsman series. This time Rob Williams takes Eggsy on an adventure. Some great stuff here. If you're a fan of the Kingsman franchise, I'm a fan of the Kingsman franchise. Check out the movie, check out the new sequel, and to get hyped up for the new sequel, check out the new book. It makes perfect sense, and it's a cool book. Love this Frank Quitelli cover that shows off Eggsy looking just like he got ripped out of the movie. Really great series. Check it out if you want to have some dark fun. Now we're going to bump it up, and we're going to talk about some more collections that have come out this week. In quick fashion, we've got Manifest Destiny, Volume Fun, Lois and Clark, Find Demons in America. That's awesome. Then we've got Kingsman. Hey, Kingsman. I was just talking about Kingsman. Brand new edition of the series. First volume, because you know that there's more right there. Then we've got the brand new volume of Extremity. In fact, it's the first volume of Extremity. And it's a really cool series, really great, really fun from Image. Then we've got Star Trek New Visions. These are the pictures from the series are put into a comic book. Some great stuff. And then we have Sweet Tooth, Volume 1. Sweet Tooth is great. It's Jeff Lemire. It's awesome. It's depressing. It's really depressing, actually. It's horribly depressing. Sweet Tooth is great, though. Love it. It's just horribly depressing. But it's very cool, and it's possibly the best thing that Jeff Lemire has ever done. And he did some really great stuff, so you know that's saying something. Then we have the brand new volume of Suicide Squad, Volume 3, Burning Down the House. John Romita Jr. jumping in on art here for a cool story that is spinning out of the aftermath of Justice League Suicide Squad. So if you like that, read that. It's awesome. It's great. I love it. It's actually one of my favorite books DC's putting out. Then we have Harley Quinn by Carl Kessel and Terry Dodson. This is the original Harley Quinn series in a nice hardcover. It's never been collected in a hardcover quite like this. It's the first 8 issues of the series, and it's great. It's $30 for a nice oversized collection, really well treated, and it's got beautiful trade dressing. I love that. Now for more Harley, we've got the Harley Quinn Omnibus by Amanda Conner and Jimmy Palmiotti. This is the first of, I can only assume we're going to get like 30 of these things, because Amanda Conner and Jimmy Palmiotti are doing an amazing job on Harley Quinn. They have really transformed the character, and this features her original series from a few years ago that's still running to this day. Some great stuff there. Harley Quinn's awesome. Check out her book. It's great. We've got multiple options. Then we've got Batman Year One by Frank Miller and David Mazzucchelli. If you haven't read Year One, you're missing out. If you don't like reading, watch the animated movie. If you don't like reading, you're watching the wrong channel right now, but check it out. Great stuff. Then we've got 2 collections of All-Star Batman. We've got the trade paperback edition of the first volume, and then we have the hardcover edition of the second volume, which features a myriad of really wonderful creators, with Scott Snyder writing, continuing his Batman epic, and we've got art from Jock, Francesco Francavilla, Tula Lotte, and Giuseppe Camacoli. Those are amazing artists, and it's an amazing book. Scott Snyder's Batman is unparalleled. Really doing some cool stuff here. Then we also have the hardcover collection of Slayer Repentless, as well as the Black Beetle from Francesco Francavilla. I love that guy. His covers are amazing. His interior art is amazing. He's amazing. Wonderful name, too. Cool name. Now we've got Elsewhere, issue number 2. Really cool series from Image. We've really been enjoying the Elsewhere story. Cool stuff. John Barber doing a great job on it. Then from IDW, we have the brand new issue of Gem and the Misfits, The Infinite, Part 4. Kelly Thompson doing a great job on the series, having a lot of fun with the Misfits. Who doesn't love Misfits, right? Now we hit DC proper, and of course, we've got Superman fighting Sinestro. That is awesome. It is the coolest thing. Look at that armor that Superman has found himself adorned in as Superman faces off against the Sinestro Corps, the crushing might of Sinestro. Can he overcome the deepest fears in the galaxy? I hope so. I mean, he's Superman. He's got to stand for something, right? And I definitely think it's a great book. And if you're a Green Lantern fan, this is a good chance to check out some of Superman's cool stories. Now, we also have the brand new issue of Shade the Changing Girl. Really great book. Really cool covers here. We've got Cecil Castellucci. We've got Marley Zarcone, and it's a great book. And also that Becky Cloonan cover, though. Amazing. Then we've got the brand new issue of Nightwing, issue number 28. Nightwing has been dealing with Spiral for far too long. They are a plight in his life, and it is just an awesome story. Really cool stuff. And Tim Seeley has been, he was the guy who used to write Grayson, so if anybody's going to continue the epic adventures of Spiral, it's going to be the guy that used to write them. Makes sense. Great book. Check it out. Javi Fernandez's art. Wonderful. Then we have the brand new issue of Justice League. If you check out in the corner here, we've got this cool Nick Bradshaw variant, and then we have the main cover by Brian Hitch himself. Some great stuff. Brian Hitch is writing it. Fernando Pasarin is on art, and this is the Aquaman of the future because, of course, the Justice League is currently dealing with their own kids from the future that have traveled back in time to warn them of the dark tomorrow. And Aquaman is no joke in this future, so you know that he spells trouble. Then we also have the brand new issue of Injustice 2, issue number 9 of the series. Some great stuff from Tom Taylor, and it's got Wildcat. I love Wildcat. Great to see Wildcat. We have the brand new issue of Harley Quinn. We've got the variant cover by Frank Cho right there. And then we've got the main art as well. Really cool series, issue number 27. And it's still Amanda Conner and Jimmy Palmiotti. And they've been doing a great job for years and years. We also have the brand new issue of Green Lanterns, issue number 30 from Sam Humphries. Some great stuff there. And over here, we've got Green Arrow, issue number 30. Show off a couple of these different covers. Of course, that is Hal Jordan and Oliver Queen side by side, teaming up for the first time in years. Of course, they had a wonderful pairing back in the day, the Hard Traveling Heroes, and it only makes sense that for the current Hard Traveling Hero storyline, we've got the two of them teaming up, and if you haven't been reading the book, you're really missing out. Ben Percy and Otto Schmidt are doing a great job on this book. Some great stuff here. We also have the brand new issue of Doom Patrol, Gerard Way and Nick Darrington, and I want to show off this cover just because that's so weird. Some great stuff. Doom Patrol has been a ton of fun, and Gerard Way is doing a great job. He is really, really doing a wonderful job with the Young Animal line in general. Some great stuff. Now, as we continue down, we've got issue number 23 of Deathstroke. Deathstroke and his own team of Titans have been doing a pretty good job, but now it looks like he might be coming to blows with them himself as Rose Wilson defies against her father. And I love Rose. She's great. I miss her one-eyed days, but, you know, good for her that she's got two eyes now. You know, good for her. Now we've got the brand new issue of Dastardly and Muttley. This is a brand new book from the Hanna-Barbera line of titles that DC has been putting out. Some really cool stuff, and Garth Ennis is writing it. Dastardly and Muttley are two pilots, and they are trying to save the world because everything is doom and gloom around them, and it's great. That cover is great. That's actually rather hilarious, and it's a cool book. Check it out if you want to see the classic Wacky Racers characters reimagined in the modern day. Now we've got a cool reprint of Metal. Great book from Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo. Some great storytelling there, and I'm really excited because I believe part 2 is next week. So if you want to read part 2 next week, buy the reprint this week. Then we also have the brand new issue of Cyborg, issue number 16, dealing with the aftermath of the Singularity storyline. And over here, one of the cool releases that I'm super excited for, Bombshells United, issue number 1. We've got two really cool covers here. We've got Babs Tarr, we've got Terry Dodson, and we've got a great book from Marguerite Bennett and Marguerite Sauvage. Really cool. If you haven't been checking out the book, now is your chance to get in while the going is good. And the going's always good in this book because it's really top-notch, and the Bombshells franchise has grown so much. It went from a line of statues to this great series, and Marguerite Bennett has really been doing an amazing job with it. Check it out. I highly suggest it. So fun, cool. Yeah, it's a cool alternate take on a lot of the classic DC heroes, and I really enjoy it. And we've got the Wonder Girls in it, which is great. Then as we finish up the wall, we've got the brand new issue of Batman. We've got another interlude in the War of Jokes and Riddles. Tom King and Clayman. The Ballad of Kite Man continues, and Kite Man, I'm talking about Kite Man in a serious sentence here. Let's just talk about how Tom King has transformed the character and made him somebody that I have an emotional tie to. What are you doing, Tom King? I'll tell you what you're doing. You're doing a great job on a great book. Check out the series. Batman is doing amazing, and it's because Tom King is really making you care. And then to close us off, we've got the latest issue in Bane Conquest. We've got Catwoman. We've got Bane. That seems like an unfair fight. I guess Catwoman's going to have to get tricky here, and you know that with Catwoman, you can never count her out. She's always got something up her sleeve. Great stuff here from Chuck Dixon and Graham Nolan, the original creators of Bane. Some great stuff. Really cool. I'm happy. I'm so happy with the books that are out this week. There's really some cool stuff. And I hope that you guys are happy because we want you to be happy the same way we're happy. And there's so many cool books. You should come by. Tell us how happy you are. Buy some comics. Be happier. Your happiness increases. Everybody's happy. Right? Makes sense? Good. So come on by. Buy some books. Have a good time. Enjoy some great stories in this rainy weather. And have a happy Wednesday.